Welcome to Brew Builds. Today, I get to add the finishing touches to this fireplace and barbecue structure. I need to attach the 3 doors that go on the back side for the barbecue storage. I need to add the waterproof covers on the electrical outlets and switches. There's a couple of vents that need to be attached up top. But first, I'm going to mount the mantle that goes right here in the front. So I'm going to grab the mantle bracket and get the stuff done. This mantle is actually made out of concrete and fiber mesh around a steel frame. You are required to use this type of mantle with a ventless fireplace so it can handle the heat. So it does have a little bit of weight to it. The mantle is held on by these tabs that fit over the mount, holding it in place against the wall. I need to attach the mount bracket to the wall first, then slide the mantle over the mount. Tools and items needed: concrete fireplace mantle, weatherproof outlet covers, chrome vent covers, stainless steel storage doors, a screw gun drill driver, a hammer, sheet metal screws, plastic anchors, and a pair of gloves. If you watch the other videos on this project, you'll recall that I built some custom brackets for the mantle mount that are bolted to the metal studs. If you haven't seen those videos, I encourage you to check out that playlist. I'll put a link in the description and at the end of this video. There are some 3/8" nuts welded to those brackets that I'll be screwing these bolts into. Technical ability, I rate as a novice. I've already done most of the complicated work, now I just need to finish this. Physical ability, I rate as difficult. I still have a bit of moving, drilling, holding, lifting, and screwing that needs to get done. Since I already positioned and leveled the mount when I did the framing, all I need to do is attach this to the wall. The bracket has a bunch of small holes for nails or screws. I drilled out 3 of them to use with the 3/8" bolts. If my wall was perfectly flat, I could tighten down on these bolts, but I probably need to leave myself a little bit of wiggle room so I can get the mantle over this mount. Yep, too tight. There we go. Looks nice. And now to add a little finishing touch. Swirl! Onto the outlet covers. I had these outlets wired and powered up before I did the stucco. I need to pull off the painter's tape, clean the stucco off around the sides of the box, and adjust the depth so I can get a nice watertight fit with the outlet cover. But before I go any further, I'm going to get the power turned off. These are downlined from this GFCI outlet, so I can shut the power off from here. Confirm that it is off with a tester, and no power. I'll unscrew the receptacle so I can clean off the sides of the box better. These are adjustable boxes, so I can turn a set screw that will move the box back flush into the stucco. That way the cover will be watertight. I just need to clean off more of the stucco from the sides of the box, then try to get the surface around the box flat. I'm not sure if it's counterclockwise or clockwise. I think it's clockwise. It might need a little persuading. This cover is waterproof and comes with a foam gasket that fits around the back side of the receptacle. However, it is only waterproof rated when the outlet doors are shut. Some outdoor receptacles may require you to use a type of cover that is still waterproof when a cord is plugged in, so check with your local codes. This receptacle also has the WR rating for being water resistant. I just need to fit the gasket behind the receptacle and screw it all back together. The waterproof cover is held on by one screw in the center that screws into the receptacle. This should now be watertight. The box on the side has the switch for the lights above the barbecue and the igniter switch for the fireplace. I need to remove the painter's tape, remove the light switch, clean up the stucco, adjust the box, and put it all back together with a waterproof cover. The fireplace switch came with a duplex cover. I need to trim it in half so it will fit with the light switch. A pair of tin snips work well for doing this. The waterproof cover uses the same screws that hold the switches, so I had to leave them out long enough to fit the cover over the screws and set in place, and then tighten the screws. Because of the tight space, it took a while to get this done, but I was able to get it tight. Now for some cleanup, then on to the barbecue. I had the barbecue set in place and discovered that I'm about a ½ inch off with this cutout and it doesn't exactly fit. The front part of the barbecue needs to be set back inside the countertop so it is flush with the stucco. I'll make this notch a ½ inch deeper with the diamond cutting blade on my hand grinder. Now the barbecue should fit. I did have a metal stud going across the back for the barbecue to rest on. I realized I just needed about 3 inches on each side to hold the back. There's still a very strong support in the front where most of the weight is. It will also be supported by the countertop along the sides and the back. The barbecue gas regulator hangs down in the back, and not having the full stud makes it easier to install.
Hit that like button and subscribe to Brew Build.
It was a bit awkward and heavy, but doable with 2 people.
Hit that like button and subscribe to Brew Build.
Wow, it looks like it was designed to fit here. I'm not sure if you need to bolt the barbecue in. I didn't see anything in the directions. I guess the weight just holds it in place? Leave a comment below if you know how to secure a built-in barbecue. I still may use some sheet metal screws for safety. Since there is a barbecue and a gas fireplace, the structure does need to be vented. When I attached the cement boards, I cut a square hole on each side of the fake chimney for ventilation and added a wire mesh. I want to cover those 2 holes up with these chrome vent plates. I have the holes marked. I just need to drill a hole for the plastic anchors, hopefully without cracking the stucco. These require you to drill a 1/4 inch hole, insert the anchor, and then tap them in with a hammer. The vent plate has 6 holes, but I'll just use the 4 in the corner. I think those covers add a nice clean touch to the fireplace. On to the barbecue doors. A quick story about the storage doors. In the process of designing this, we discovered that stainless steel doors and drawers can be rather expensive. In fact, you can spend a lot more for the doors and the accessories than you did the barbecue itself. Since these will be on the back side of the fireplace and not seen from the house, I couldn't see myself spending that much money. So I started looking elsewhere. I even thought about building my own, and then I found some cheap ones online. We were somewhat concerned that the metal would be super thin or the stainless steel wouldn't be of very high quality, but 3 doors for the price of half the price of 1 door from the barbecue store, I decided to order them. Within a couple of weeks they arrived. Well, 2 out of the 3 arrived. When I opened the box for the door that goes under the barbecue, I noticed the box had been damaged. Taking the door out, it looked okay until I took a closer look. The inside edges of the doors are bent and it didn't shut properly. Also, you can see a slight dent in the front of the door. So we contacted the company's customer service via email and sent pictures. They responded, I could take a hammer and bend it back. I probably could have fixed the door with a hammer, or at least fix it so it closed properly, but you would still notice a slight dent in the front. I know it's not that big of a dent, but I did pay for a new door, not a discounted bent door. I know that there is a quality risk when you buy cheap stuff online from a retailer, and usually customer service is pretty poor. Well, after a few emails and not getting anywhere on a replacement door or where my third door was, I made a claim through my credit card company and got a full refund. During that time, I found some other ones online from a different company. I ordered those and they arrived within a couple of weeks, and I actually liked them a lot better. I unboxed the other two a while ago to use for measurements when I built the barbecue structure. I just haven't attached them yet. This is the third box. They were packaged well enough, mostly protecting the corners. These were the only doors that I noticed on Amazon that had a wider mounting flange. Because of the stucco, the doors offset from the stud about an inch. So these doors, compared to the other ones I ordered, will work much better. Speaking of comparison, my wife found this high-end stainless steel trash can unit at a discount kitchen store for 80% off. I have this one next to it so we can compare some of the quality differences. Looking at the corners, you can see a slight seam on the cheaper doors. Also, the weld on the hinge doesn't look that great. The edge of the trash can is much smoother when I run my glove along it. On the cheaper doors, it's rough and the glove is grabbing. Looks like they use pop rivets on the trash can, but only welds on the cheaper doors. Not sure if that makes much of a difference. I do need to keep in mind that the list price for this one trash can unit is about half of what we paid for the barbecue, so it's not cheap. It's not just a simple door, and the build quality does look stronger. There are some more moving parts, including the soft self-closing door. At some point, I'll be building a cabinet with a sink out here, and this trash can unit will be going into that. Since this will be sitting right outside our large sliding glass dining room doors, I'm okay with spending a little bit more money for something nice. Well, at 80% off. In fact, I think this was still more money than the 3 doors combined. Let's go get this installed. The 2 doors on the outside are a snug fit. I had to remove some of the excess stucco in the corners so it'll fit in place. This door has been out in the elements, and some of the reviews about this door is they complain about it that it started to rust within a couple of weeks. Which this one did have an issue, but I think the issue is that the magnets and the plate are not stainless steel, and that is what started to rust. So I'm going to clean them up, get the rust off, and then spray some clear paint on these spots to hopefully help with the issue. These came with 2 slots in the mounting flange on each side. I'm going to take some sheet metal screws and run them through these holes and then into the metal studs. I did pre-drill the holes for the sheet metal screws, making sure the door flange was pushed up against the stucco before drilling. Each door came with 2 handles, some mounting screws, washers, and some tiny screws for the handles, which I found too short to be able to use with the washers. They also supplied a little screwdriver, which I find somewhat funny because generally you would have built something that you're using these doors on, so I would imagine that you would have a Phillips screwdriver. But maybe they send you this to keep you from using a drill driver and stripping out these handles. I think this is finally done. This was a fun project to create and work on. Now it's time to sit back and enjoy this. I'll take you on one last walk around to show you the fireplace and barbecue structure. I still have a few more videos that need to be put together for the backyard makeover project, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of them. I have a playlist for the building of this fireplace and barbecue structure, as well as one for the entire backyard, so be sure to check those out. Hit the like button for me and let's keep building.